Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. This is a Wellness Wednesday. This is part of our series, and I have a special guest, another beautiful being. This is Moonstone Chandlery, and she is going to talk about her work in healing. She has many different services. She is a certified Reiki master. She makes candles with intention. She works with crystals, everything. There are so many different things up under the umbrella of what Moonstone does. So, Moonstone, yes, thank you for joining.
Thank you
She's
so
sitting
much for
outside.
having me.
No problem. I want you to further introduce yourself.
Happily, I will. So my name is Maureen Critchlow. So actually, my initials match my business name of Moonstone Chandlery. So I also have overarching wellness brand, Moonstone Chakra Healing.
Mm,
So that is the home of Moonstone Chandlery. Moonstone Chandlery is the product side of the business, and Moonstone Chakra Healing is where I do all of my energy work and education. So pretty much all of the services I provide include crystal Reiki, distance Reiki, energy healing consultations,
okay.
energy readings, and then on the product side, I make crystal infused products by hand. The
Mm,
ones that mean so much to me are the crystal infused healing candles. In those candles, they are intention candles.
yes.
I have a signature line of them that cover different types of energies. For example, if you want to seek some clarity in your life, I have a candle called Be Clear. So
Mm,
each candle has a command of action
good.
and really supports the intention that you want to bring forth in your life. I also
Hmm.
do custom candles.
Yes, she
And I
does.
also, yeah, the custom ones I want to talk about a little later because those are really near and dear to my heart because it's so personal for each individual that I make them for. In addition to that, I make smudge sprays by hand, and they're a blend of essential oils and witch hazel. They're also infused with crystals. So there's
Mm,
crystals right there in the bottle. They've been charged up with full moon energy. I'm about to make a
ooh,
batch in the between tomorrow and Wednesday for that Sagittarius fiery full moon that's coming up.
okay.
But all of the products are made with such pure intention and love, and this is a passion project that turned into a life purpose.
Mm.
So I'm really proud of the work. I'm so grateful to be able to even do this type of work. Brings me so much joy. So
I just want to tell everybody when I first met this beautiful being, it was at a school that we were working at together, and just from the initial meeting, all she said was hello. I was like, oh, she just, and a lot, and of course she's going to talk about this, but just that simple hello gave off so much great energy. We had a conversation later, and that's how I found out about her doing these beautiful candles and her healing services. And let me tell you about, okay, she's going to go further into her candles, but I want to tell you about the candle that she crafted for me that have I have purchased from her. This, and I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. This candle, when I tell you, like she said, she takes her time to give intention, put the crystals and all these different things to make this one product. And it's not, manufactured in a warehouse somewhere, and that's fine for those who like to buy those candles. But she takes her time to individually put her good energy into these candles. And the candle that I had purchased was vibrating, you all. I swear. It was sitting on the ledge in the living room, and I thought it was my keys. I was like, no, well, my keys is in my purse. And I looked over and the candle was moving. And when I burnt that candle, or I shouldn't say burnt the candle, when I put a light to the candle, it gave out even more great energy. So I thank you. Oh, and she's going to tell you again. If I didn't say this already, probably said it a few times. I am so looking forward to her sharing her wisdom of what she does when she puts intention on the candles. Okay, that's my little piece.
thank you so much. Do you want me to start? just digging into Reiki and then
Yes.
moving into products? Okay,
Yes.
so I'm going to give you guys some background on my Reiki journey
Okay.
and what led me to Reiki healing. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with Reiki, Reiki is a form of energy healing. Most people think that this form of energy healing originated in Japan. It was
Mm.
made famous in Japan, but it
Mm-hmm.
originated in Egypt, in ancient Egypt. Yes,
Ooh. Didn't
the
know
channeling
that.
of life force energy for the healing of others
Wow.
originated in ancient Egypt. So, and I actually learned that
Mm-hmm.
after my certifications, after my teaching. So I want to make sure I speak to that point because it's
Yes.
so important that we understand the origins
Mm-hmm.
and that we know that, sometimes things, I'm not going to say it's been stolen, but they become adopted. And
Mm-hmm.
wherever they're made famous, that's what they're known for. But
Yes.
sometimes if you look a little deeper and you read into something, you'll find the true origin and you'll realize that, it started in a completely different place.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much the way that Reiki works is there is an energy that flows through all of us that allows us to be here sitting talking to each other right now, that allows us to breathe, walk, interact, that we consider is life force energy. A lot of people have different names for this energy, but to me it all means the same thing. You could call it prana, you could call it chi,
Mm-hmm.
but that animation that runs through you, that energy current that's keeping your heart beating,
Mm-hmm.
we call that universal life force energy. And so in Reiki, what we're doing is we're channeling that energy from the source. And I'm going to use lots of broad terms because
Okay.
I believe that Reiki is for everyone, regardless of your religious background, your teaching, your culture. It's available to all of us. So when I say source, I'm saying God, I'm saying creator, I'm saying, the infinite one, the great I am, the higher self,
Yes.
the all of those. That is what I call source.
Mm-hmm.
So you're channeling directly from source the energy that's allowing you to live. And what you're doing is you're channeling it right through your hands
Mm.
so it can actually be emitted from your body to another person's body.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people like to liken it to ancient laying of the hands technique. A lot
Mm.
of you that were brought up in Christianity, as I was, are very very familiar with the laying of the hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's the stories of Jesus and how he healed others. And when you think about it at the very basic level, think of a mother. And so let's say
Yes.
that your baby falls off of their bicycle and they scrape their knee.
Mm-hmm.
As a mother, the first thing that we do is grab our baby up
Yes.
and we
Yep.
utilize the healing touch
Yes. Yes.
in order to impart healing to that body. I mean, we're also comforting them emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
But as we all know, emotions, mind, body, spirit, all of that are connected when we
Yes.
talk about a healed person, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
holistic medicine as a whole. It's the whole person. So when you grab
Yes.
that baby up when they're hurt, you are indeed healing them with your own life force energy, with those good intentions,
Mm-hmm.
with that pure love from source. That's what you're giving to your baby. And it does absolutely accelerate healing on a physical level,
Yes, it
the
does.
emotional level, the
Mm-hmm.
mental level, all
Mm-hmm.
of that, the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual level. So that is the basis of Reiki. It's a very gentle, loving healing modality.
Mm,
I
loving.
know that it's so loving. It's,
Mm,
because God is love. Source is
yes.
love. Life
Teach.
is
Tell him in the
love.
back row. Moonstone. Tell him in the back row.
So when
Love.
we channel this, we do it with loving intention.
Mm,
Um, and so I want people to not be afraid of the idea of Reiki. I know it might, if you haven't heard of it, it probably sounds foreign,
right.
might sound strange. It might sound like you're overstepping some boundaries. But what you're doing is you're using the life force that's in you to heal others. And isn't that
Yes.
what we're all here to do anyway? Isn't that what we're doing? I'm just saying.
Because I mean, first of all, you didn't hit just about most of the questions I was going to ask.
Sorry, I
No,
want to make it
no.
like
Hey, we been in alignment in what's supposed to be, so that's fine. I'm going with it. So it's like, we hear all the time that God is love source, right?
yeah.
And that all we need is love, okay?
Mhm.
And like you said, and again, that was one of the things I was gonna bring up about this is just our natural instinct that God put in us that loves us so we can love other people, just like you said. Isn't this what we're supposed to be doing? So we immediately, as mother, because we're nurturers, right? That we pick up that baby, and there's scientific evidence of this.
Yes.
I'm getting chills again. Oh my God, hold on. Let me take a moment. Woo. Oh, and there's so much scientific research or evidence out there about the healing touch. And like you said, the laying of hands, and even like the spiritual teachings of Jesus the Christ and others that had did, similar work, but okay, Jesus the Christ, he was
Yes.
channeling source energy through
Yes.
him.
Yes.
And like I
I know,
said,
right?
when I met Maureen, and let me know, because I love calling you Moonstone, because that's one of my favorite crystals.
I
So,
love that
I'm
song.
like, I love calling her Moonstone. And that's just befitting to just how things are working. Us meeting when I met you, just you saying hello and gave off that good energy. And when we are being a love, when we greet someone, we don't know the impact that we can be putting on somebody's life from that. Touching them, just real quick, and I want you to finish telling us about
Yeah.
your healing services. I remember when I first started the nursing some years ago, and though again scientific research or science is starting to catch up more and more with healing touch, and they're starting to teach this in some medical professional programs. So when I had my first nursing job, um I go in and just because I went in there with the intention to help these people, okay? So I want to say it was that I can remember, about at least 7 of my patients were wheelchair bound, okay?
Mhm.
Had not stood up, tried, it was wheelchair bound. My method of nursing was always to touch them, always to when I made time or was able to have time to sit there and talk with those who can talk, and if not, just to sit with them.
Yeah.
I want to say within a few months after I started working there, some
Mhm.
of them started to stand up, some of them even start walking again. And I'm not saying that I'm healed these people, but I believe that the love that was shown, because I
Yeah.
do, and I do nothing without the great source, without the great creator. And that
Yes.
that that energy, that love that came through source was passed on to them. And I really believe that that's what helped these people to start walking or even trying to get up. It had got so bad, these because they were used to them not getting up, that we had to put wheelchair arms and all this. We had to change our care plans for them and everything. They're like, well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Miss Jane Doe ain't got up in years, and all of a sudden she's getting up. So yeah, I totally believe in it. Yes.
Yes, you were serving as a conduit for
Mm,
source energy because your heart was open to it. So you could
mhm.
be used in that way. Isn't that beautiful? But
Wow.
that's why we're here.
Yes. That's why
That's
we
why we
supposed.
are here.
Oh, please.
There's not
I
supposed
just
to be any suffering because we all have the power to heal ourselves and each other.
I
So no
believe
one
it.
is supposed to suffer, you
Oh,
know. We don't
and
have to suffer. It can be easy. Life
mm-hmm,
can be easy.
mm-hmm. I believe
Yeah.
that. I 200%. Again, speaking, although there's different spiritual teachings, right? But
Yeah.
in text of the Bible, it talks about that, and that if we, paraphrasing him, but us connecting to source, and I do the same thing as far as my creator, the divine, that even for within my own life, I've seen things just like kind of wash away. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying to people that we are not going to go through nothing at all down here, but
Because
I
we
do
will.
believe, yeah, because I believe we got to have that balance. Because sometimes, we just think that we supposed to have this cookies and cream, ice
No,
cream, life, but it can. I do believe that source provides a way out. I really believe that.
support, yeah, support is available. And so with that, since you brought up like it not always being easy, I'll tell you what brought me to Reiki in the first place.
Okay.
Because usually, I'll say this: every healer has usually reached a low point.
Mm-hmm.
If they haven't, I would question them.
Mm.
Question them.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens in that low point is things are revealed to you.
Yes.
Sorry if my computer's making noise,
Okay.
but
It's okay.
things are revealed to you that you wouldn't otherwise even notice. When things are
Mm.
going well, you're kind of just taking things for granted. That's natural. We're human.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hit rock bottom, or what we call
Mm-hmm.
rock bottom, you start really looking inward,
Mm.
and you're raw. And when you're raw, you're open. And when you're
Mm-hmm.
open, you can hear the voice of God,
Yes.
of source, and you
Yes.
can be led out of your darkness. So pretty much I struggled with anxiety
Okay.
for so many years. It was just debilitating.
Okay.
Debilitating anxiety. I mean, to the point where I would get all the way to work, drive there, and like physically couldn't get my legs out of the car
Oh.
to walk up to the door.
Oh, wow.
It started when
Wow.
I pretty much started my first master's degree.
Okay.
Just not wanting to. I had my work done. I was prepared. Everything was ready. I just, I thought, I'm like, am I weird? Am I antisocial? What's happening here? But what was happening is I was judging myself. I wanted to show
Mm.
up in a certain way, and when things weren't quite right, I was really hard on myself, and I wanted to please my family. I want my parents to be proud of me. I just wanted to be the best at everything I did, and I think seeking external validation for just too
Mm.
long
Okay.
built up an unhealthy anxiety. So I'm always on edge. I'm always trying to make sure that, I'm doing really well, and I'm, getting the good grades, and everyone's proud. And I'm like, well, what do I really want?
Right.
Like, what? I know what everyone else wants of me, but like, what do I want? So after the battle with anxiety, I mean, I tried everything. I even went the Western route. And by no means am I anti-Western medicine.
Right.
I believe in integrative health.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the East and the West need to meet each other, hang
Yes.
out,
Sit at the
and get
table
on the
together.
same page.
Have some dinner. Break some bread.
Right. Like, let's stop fighting. I mean, because we need both, right?
Yes.
When
Yes.
when things are in an emergency situation, or they're critical to the point of, okay, we're past
Right.
the prevention stage.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in the thick of it. Okay, that's when the West is beautiful in that aspect,
Mm-hmm.
because they are reactive and responsive, right? But the East relies on a lot of preventative, which I absolutely love. So when the two combine, one day it's going to happen.
It
When it
is.
does happen,
It
I'm going to rejoice and dance in the street,
is.
because that's when we'll crack the code on this whole health thing, when the East meets the West. But
Yes.
not to go off topic. Um, the stress and the anxiety became unbearable, and I said, you know what? I've tried the Western way. I've done
Mm-hmm.
the therapy. I've done the anti-anxiety medication.
That's what I was
I've
gonna
done it
ask you about.
all. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I took it for 10 years.
Mm.
Religiously for 10 years. Every single day I took anti-anxiety medication in order to get through daily life tasks,
Oh my
like
God.
go to work, go to school, care for my son, all of those things. And I looked at it and I'm like, I started actually suffering from some of the side effects. At first it was like, oh, no big deal. Then I was getting like migraines. All these things were happening. I'm like, well, maybe I've been taking this for a little too long.
Mhm.
So I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go another route. And I've always been interested in everything, I guess you would call it taboo, but
Mhm.
I've always been interested in anything with mysticism.
Me too.
Actually, I've always been interested in religion and studying different religions, not just the one that I was raised in. I was
Yeah.
raised in as a Christian. And I always was so curious about, Islam and all the other great world religions, and then the
Mhm.
ones that are not so well known, just
Right.
really deep avid researcher and historian. I'm a librarian by day, by the way. That's how we met at the schools. So always had my head in a book. Love esoteric knowledge, ancient civilizations, all of those things. Just that gets my goat. Like that's it.
Mhm.
So after studying all of those things, and I said, maybe I should try some Eastern medicine. I don't know why I'm approaching this only in one way. So let me try some
Mhm.
different ways. So I think I started in like Chinatown,
Okay.
going to an herbalist and finding ways to. They gave me, I think it was Shishandra and ashwagandha. Actually, that's what they gave me, and
Okay.
those things were working beautifully actually. But what I was finding was, there needed to be something deeper.
Okay.
I think even with therapy, there were some energetic blocks that I was experiencing
Mm.
that the therapist couldn't get to, that the herbs couldn't get to. And I love my herbs. I'm not even gonna go into that because it's a whole nother talk. But I, a deeper like, I just couldn't find peace. So I reached out to I reached out to a friend that I know is a yoga teacher, and I know she was getting Reiki treatments on the regular, like monthly. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready to go to your Reiki master and go get a healing. And I did it. I went and
Mhm.
got a healing, and it changed everything. It just
Wow.
and so what happened was I went in with this open mind and open heart and just ready to receive whatever was coming. I was just, my expectations were kind of managed. I was just like, whatever, God, whatever you have for me here, I'm willing to receive it. So, and it was just
Mm.
so beautiful. The calm and the care that I received during my Reiki treatment was absolutely beautiful. It was beautiful. So it was just really gentle, and I was able to release a lot of fear, a lot of guilt,
Mm.
and I found out that that was a lot of the stuff that was fueling my
Mm.
anxiety was, the not feeling like I'm good enough, being afraid of not being successful, feeling guilty about different things if I didn't measure up. It was just all related. And I was able to just release it all on that table that day.
Mm.
And I said, after
Like you
that,
was
I said,
laying on the altar.
I was just, yeah. And I just let it go. I just let it go.
Mm.
And so I knew it wasn't going to be a quick fix. And I know how my mind works. I'm the type of person that needs to be consistent. So once I do something, I have to commit to it and keep seeing it through. So nothing comes easy.
Right.
So
Right.
I said, you know what? I'm going to study. I'm going to study Reiki, and I'm going to study the basics because I know there's more to it than just what I received. And I found out that there's a beautiful set of principles attached to Reiki that help to guide your everyday life, and they are so beautiful and so simple. And they teach you. They're just statements like, just for today, I will not worry. Just for
Mm.
today, I will be kind. Just for today, I will work honestly. Like all of those things, being able to say those statements daily and to live that simplicity. It was just beautiful. The fact that you can channel this life force energy through yourself at any moment to
Mm.
heal yourself or to heal others. The fact that Reiki is for everyone,
Mhm.
everyone.
Mhm.
We all have it. We have different names for it. Some cultures won't call it Reiki, but that's just what it's called in the Japanese healing modality. But it's just so beautiful to be able to release those blockages. So let me be clear. In Reiki, I was able to release energy blockages that were long standing that I wasn't even aware of. And that kind of cleaned the slate for me to be able to carve a new path forward in the life that I desired, not the life that other people wanted for me. So that's what Reiki was able to restore in my life.
Do you think
So
that so when you opened up for the Reiki for energy healing, do you think that's when the herbs and everything was able to come in and help you out?
that's beautiful. You're right. So I was taking the herbs before and I was noticing some relaxation, and which was
Okay.
meant to do. But once I received the Reiki healing and the energy blocks were cleared, oh my goodness,
Mm,
those herbs were intensified. I
mm,
mean, I could just make a really light, weak tea of
mhm,
some of them and sip on it like once every other day, and they would be powerful and last for 48 hours. It was just, I think what happens is we get muddy or
mhm.
murky,
Okay.
right? So um in Reiki, like we're taught in our training that, we're all energetic beings. And the way that energy is designed to work in our bodies is it's designed to flow. It's designed to come in through source
Mhm,
and then flow out. And that's supposed to be constant. But unfortunately, when we experience um, when we experience negative emotion, mainly negative emotions and low vibrations, what
mhm,
happens is some of the energy gets lodged and stuck
mm,
in the energy centers or the chakras of the body. So the chakras, a lot of you all probably are familiar with that. Those are the energy centers from the crown to the root. And that's where your energy is cycled through the body. And each chakra is responsible for powering certain aspects of your being and your life. For
mhm,
example, right now I'm overactivating my throat chakra right
mhm.
now. And that's not something that I normally use. A lot of my followers know I don't really speak a lot, but when I do speak, it's coming straight out of the heart. And right now I'm using the throat. And
Mhm.
then when I'm in meditation and I'm looking for an answer to a question, I'm trying to receive a message, I'm probably channeling messages through the crown, directly from source, right? And if I'm looking into uh, activating my dreams or looking into my own future, I'm activating my third eye, so on and so forth. So it's designed for your body to be able to release energy as
Mhm.
well as receive it. So
Okay.
when we don't release properly, that's when all the problems start.
Mm,
Emotional, mental, and physical.
mm,
Once it gets to the physical level, a lot of damage has already been done, but that doesn't mean it can't be undone because it absolutely can. So if we start to think in terms of ailments and illness in a holistic way,
mhm,
we'll be able to kind of fix things um, before they get out of hand,
mhm.
right? So, and yeah, I could go into vibrational scales, but I won't. That's a whole nother thing too, because when you feel good, when you're happy,
Yeah.
your body's happy too. Your
Mhm,
cells are happy too. Actually, when you're not even happy, but when you're peaceful, I'll say, because
mhm,
that's another misconception. A lot of people think that they need to be joyful, and in the spiritual community, it's like, toxic positivity.
mhm.
Everything's perfect all the time. No, it's not. You don't always have to be in bliss or joy or excitement. You can be in a state of peace, and it can look a little boring,
Mhm.
but in that rested, peaceful state, guess what your body is doing? It's healing. It initiates healing at the cellular, molecular level, at the DNA level.
Mhm.
You restructure those cells, you rewrite your coding
Mhm. Mhm.
when you relax.
Mhm.
So as you can see, I was in fight or flight when I was going through my anxiety battle because I was on the way to my body being affected. It was getting there.
Mm,
Shortness of breath, chest pains. It was starting up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is going too far. So
mm,
just know that we can absolutely curb a lot of what happens to us just by healing our energy. And that's why
Yes.
I teach this.
Mm-hmm.
That goes back to, like, that is my why. My why is for people to understand that you can heal your energy, you can help others heal their energy just by making sure that your vibrations, are moving along, that you're staying on the high end. And when you dip down, that you get yourself back up. And
Yes.
you do that
Yes.
by release and flow and allowing and trust.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, things aren't always gonna go well. They're
I
not.
I think that's it. That many of us, and it's unfortunate for those who are stuck, block. Um,
Yeah,
and like you said, we're going to go through you know, these different ebbs and flows. But then when we
yeah.
down in the valley, we don't have to stay there. You
We don't
know.
say, you just hit it on the head. You can feel all the feelings. You can have the shame, the
Hmm.
guilt, the fear, the all of that can happen. That is human. We are supposed to feel our feelings,
Right.
but we
Right.
are not designed to stay in them.
No. 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 No.
Be like
To
water.
me, from my belief, it's a choice. Okay. And
Yeah,
again, much love to those who are trying to figure it out, and they may have a battle trying to get out of that valley, but
right.
everything starts from the choice. Even getting out of the bed in the morning, do I want to get up when the alarm clock or whatever, the sun wakes me up, or do I decide to stay? I mean, everything is a choice, and each choice is a step. And like you said, yes, healing is a process. Many may think, okay, well, like you even said with your healing process, when you went to um even when you went to Reiki, but before that, going through years, a decade of the medication and everything that came with it, that was part of your healing to get you to, I believe, because I believe the good and the bad work together, that
Yes, they
even
do.
if you consider that bad, that took you to your good. And then you be and from that, your process of healing, becoming better energy wise, was able to be take you to the next level. Like, okay, we got you feeling better. Okay, okay. We finna have you out there healing other people. And
You're right.
that's the thing. You could have decided, like, you know what, this is what it is. I'm gonna keep taking this medication. I'm gonna keep going through what I am going through, and oh yeah, it's a again, to those who are in that downward spiral, I wish you a way out, because it's
Yes,
possible.
and it's
Possible.
absolutely possible. And
Mm-hmm.
there's help along the way. You don't have
Yes.
to do it all by yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Because there's people that have been there and they've been at the bottom and they know
Mm-hmm.
how it feels and they have the empathy and the love for you and they want to come, they want to
Yes.
take you with them. So, I
Yes.
mean, that's where I'm at. It's like, after suffering for so long, anybody
Mm.
who's ready to get on the train and start learning with me, because I'm always learning, I'm always evolving. I never consider myself as arrived.
Right.
I'm a work in progress at all
Yes.
times, and
We
every
all
day
are.
I get a little better, right?
Uh-huh.
So I just I just want to help my people, and I just want them to know that they're divine and that it's all good. It really
Yeah,
is all good.
it
It
really
really
is.
is.
It really is. And you know
It's
what,
really all
really
good.
too, because I believe with this new awareness, whether people want to say it, waking up, though this form of healing has been around since the beginning of time, right? It's just
Oh
that
yeah.
it was hidden from some people. And I really want more people of color to understand. And again, I am not denouncing, me and Maureen are not denouncing Western medicine,
No,
like
we're
how
not.
I was taught
I just went
in
to the doctor.
nursing.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, if it benefits you, God bless you, with it.
Yeah,
We just
of
want
course.
to open up other ways, and for and that does not create new disorders.
Right.
And if you are not in a chronic state with your diagnosis or disease,
Yes.
that to try, give it a thought. If you don't like it, then at least you tried it, to see if it worked
Try
for
it
you.
out
Hmm.
and let it work. You can work in tandem with the Western.
Yes,
It is
yes.
okay to integrate. I mean, and honestly, that's what we're here to do as well, is to integrate all of our experiences, our knowledge, the knowledge of each other. We're supposed to bring it all in. We don't
Hmm.
have to do it all by ourselves. There's
Yes.
no right one way to do things,
No, no.
right?
I
Yeah.
mean, if I'm trying to go to the store, I could go, go down the street, make a right, or I could go this way. I mean, we,
We still get into the store,
we
sis.
still
We
getting
still
it.
gonna show up. We're gonna
Yeah.
be like, hey.
I mean, it's
Yeah, so we have to
some.
stop the judgment. And that's the other thing that Reiki taught me, is
Mm-hmm.
how to release judgment. I
Mm,
mean, I'm guilty of it. I was a
mm-hmm.
very judgmental person. And that's because I was hurting on the inside myself.
Ooh,
Because I didn't fully accept myself and the wholeness
ooh,
of me and the
ooh.
divinity of myself. I was pointing the finger at everybody else. Oh, look at
Mm,
her. She's not doing
mm.
this. And look at him. And why does it? I couldn't heal
Wow,
until I released that. And so
wow.
now it's all good. It's all love.
Mm,
We don't have to divide. We don't have to judge. We need to accept people where they are and
yes.
understand that they are just right
Mm-hmm.
where they are, because that's
Mm-hmm.
the type of grace and mercy that I would have wanted someone to extend to me when I was going through my battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's to say, she's perfect right where she is because she's going somewhere else soon. Like,
Yes.
we have to have that compassion for each other. And that's
Mm-hmm.
part of the healing that we
Mm-hmm.
bring to this planet. So, when I talk about Reiki, that's just one way. There's so many ways. This is just something that resonated highly with me because of my personal experience and the
Okay.
beauty that I received from it. That's why I said, I want to learn this. I want to teach this. I want to bring this to my people, and I want to teach them how to do it for themselves. Because ultimately, that's the goal. The goal is not for me to, perform Reiki until my last day.
You're
The
right.
goal is for whatever comes out of my mouth, my blog, my product, for people to be inspired to
Yes.
go forth and heal themselves.
Yes.
That's the goal.
And you doing it by
So
being the example. Just being the
I
example.
hope so. I'm trying every day to
You
be better.
are.
I know last year, I'm definitely better this year than I was last year. And I can definitely say that the pandemic brought out the best in me,
I believe that
the
too for me.
best. And it's all a matter of perception and how we look at this whole thing. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many gems to grab up during this time. There's so much beautiful inner work
Yes.
that we get to complete during this time. Let's get it. Let's come
Yes.
out on the other side, or whether it's the other side is, I don't know, 2022, 2023. I don't know, who cares? But let's get through the process and come out better for it, because we can
Yes.
do that.
Yeah, I
So
was
yeah,
telling someone that I feel, because again, the good and the bad working together, like the sun comes
yeah,
out and it has its time and then the moon comes out.
hmm,
So even, my thoughts with or belief is with the pandemic that especially in the beginning, right? Everything was shut down. And
yeah,
everybody's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And I believe that Source and even Mother Earth, if they need you to be still, they will make you be still and sit with yourself.
I love it.
Like we need to sit down and then even the beautiful one of the beautiful things that came out of it was I was able to hit, like, though I love listening to the birds, watching the birds, but when we were in the house, like, at the beginning, the
Hmm.
birds had a new song.
I know, right? They're so
Had a new
loud.
song.
Why are they so loud?
I mean, they were like, whoa. And then, even some of the articles I would read that they said, even in Africa and different places where the animals were acting different. It's like they were happy. It was like,
It's
let me
so
ever sit down
joyful.
for a minute. Thank you.
they're not putting so many, so much pollution out in the
Yes.
air. They're
Yes.
not outside cutting up and being upset and
Uh-huh. Putting all
driving
that bad
fast.
energy out there.
Putting
And
that,
stuck in the
yeah,
house with them now.
in the house. They're left to deal with their feelings.
Ooh, wow. And we need to do that sometimes, you know. And even with the
Yeah,
though healing is a process, right? And some may think that it is the cookies and ice cream, that everything is just supposed to, look or be unblemished, but that healing or what comes with the healing is that bad stuff, like you said, the murky, we when we see murky waters, we think that it's nasty, but all water that is not crystal clear, like we see in the
yeah,
pictures and so forth, that does not mean it's bad. A lot of that water is just has more nutrients than the water that you're seeing in, in the oceans or so forth. Everything
yep,
is not this, oh my God, it's the end of the world because this is coming up, but it's being presented for you to do something with it.
yeah,
Like even with the face, right? So, of course this, but like even in the face, like sometimes when we break out, we, acne, and we think, oh my God, why am I breaking out? Well, maybe because of the different things, that is connected to, like if you break out onto see around here is connected to the
yeah. The
reproductive.
chin is
So
your hormones or
right.
something.
It's trying to
Yeah,
let you know, it's presenting itself to show you that
what you need to
attention
work
is
on.
needed to your
Yes,
reproductive or whatever. Everything ain't bad. Y'all, it ain't bad.
it's never bad. It's all good.
Yeah, it's so good. Man, oh my God. Like sometimes when I smile, and because I rather smile, than frown. And not to saying I don't frown, but with even within myself, just and that's mostly like a lot of times I don't even know that I'm smiling when somebody is saying something. And it's not that I am not um being disrespectful and somebody saying something that might be considered bad to them, is that I would, in that what you feeling might be bad, I am smiling to, my way of, how should I say, to make you feel, feel good if possible. And that I just, my belief is the good and the bad is some of the stuff that we think is good, bad is really good. So I don't stress over things like I used to. So I just rather just smile through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard that. I mean, and that's what you're healing energy when you do that. When you present a smile to someone,
Mm-hmm.
you are instantly in energy healing mode. You are
Mm.
offering them a higher vibration, and you're
Oh.
asking them to meet you there.
Ooh. Wow. Didn't know
Just with
that.
a smile. Just with a smile. You don't
See,
have to
look
do
at that.
anything.
Just something
And
so
sometimes they
simple.
will. Sometimes they'll meet you and they'll just be like, oh, they'll smile back. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we're okay now. And then sometimes they won't. Sometimes but you have to also love and accept them where they're at
Yes.
without judgment and know that maybe tomorrow will be the day that they'll smile
Right.
back.
Right. Oh, I don't want you to forget about the candles. I
Oh,
want you to
let
tell
me
about the
talk
candles.
about products. Okay. Because, yeah. All right. So let's talk about products. So, pretty much, my product line was based out of me trying to provide my Reiki clients some extra
Mm,
some extra support when they went home. Because
mm-hmm.
what I found out was after receiving my Reiki treatments, when I was going through my anxiety, I would go home and I would slide back down the vibrational scale, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time bringing myself back up. And I'm like, what can I do for myself in between? So what I ended up doing was I started to make. I love candles. I always have. I was the
Mm-hmm.
type of person that went to the store buying a candle like every week.
Uh-huh.
It's something about the flame, and then later I learned that because I am a fire sign,
Mm-hmm.
that I connect with the fire element very well, and it calms me and it makes me feel safe. So looking at fire, whether it's a fire pit or just a flame from a candle, it puts me in a very centered, meditative state
Mm-hmm.
instead of fight or flight. So it takes me out of anxiety straight into meditative really quickly. So I always burn these candles. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make candles. I'm like, just going to make them. So I got some soy wax. It was a hot mess. Um,
That's
I threw
how we
away
got to
like,
start off.
I was like, let me get my creative juices flowing because I'm into music and stuff. But I was like, I want to do something with my hands. I love candles. I'm going to make them. So I just looked up on how to make them and they came out all messed up. But
Mhm.
I just wanted the flame at the time. And then I just kept taking it a step further and a step further. I'm like, you know what? I'm adding essential oils. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to infuse it with crystals. I'm putting crystals right in there. Why not? I was like, I'm going to infuse the candles with my own Reiki healing energy. I'm going to sit with them in meditation and I'm going to infuse them with the desired intention that I want when I burn the candle. So I'm going to do that too. So I did it all for myself. Then I started doing it for my clients.
Mhm.
And one thing led to another. I was just making one type. It was based with lavender, French lavender essential oil,
Mhm.
100% natural US grown soy wax. And then I was adding amethyst crystals because it was all about
Ooh, I
peace,
love that.
anti-anxiety, bringing yourself to center. And then next thing I knew, my clients were like, well, I want you to make me a candle that's going to, be empowering and give me some confidence and, help me out with my work because I feel like I'm in a slump. And I'm like, okay, let me go for it. And so I started, going back to, because I'm a crystal Reiki master. I don't know if I explained that, but crystal healing infused with Reiki healing together. That's what
Mhm.
we do. We actually lay the crystals on the body to accelerate the healing and to act as almost like a prism. So when that Reiki healing energy is coming through the facilitator, it's actually
Mhm.
passing through the crystal and
Ooh.
being amplified, and then that energy is going into the body. So it's a very intense type of healing, very beautiful. Um, but back to the candles. So the crystals really served as a way for me to kind of pinpoint what people needed. So, like, say they needed that energy at work, like I was talking about,
Mhm.
then I'm like, all right, that's when I made the candle that's called Stand Up. It's all
Okay.
about personal power, the solar plexus chakra, and I use citrine essential oil. I
Okay.
use citrine crystals,
Okay.
and then I use oak moss essential oil, which is all about stimulating the solar plexus,
Mhm.
helping you to make quick decisions, being adaptable, confident, chin up at work, making things happen, not second guessing your judgment, all of those things.
Mhm.
So I made that for a client, and then the people started talking about it. I had to make more and make more. I had a friend, they had a party, and they were like, "This is the girl that makes candles. I want you to make candles for my party. I want you to sell them there." He's amazing, but anyway, I just kept getting nudged. It was just so
Mhm.
strange, the nudging kept happening. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I'm a librarian and, yeah, I do Reiki on the side, but like, I don't really run a business,
I'm just
like,
making
like
candles.
this is just fun for me and people love it and my clients love it and it's just fun. It's just, I'm being crafty, right? No, it was a calling.
Mm.
It was a calling and I had to answer. And I was a little resisting because I was like, this is like too much work. I don't know if I really want to do this on a mass scale.
We don't,
And next,
that's usually the
and
person that's called to do it.
then the demand got so huge. It was like
Mhm.
I was making all of these customs. Someone had a birthday. They wanted to call in to their 33rd year. They said that this was their, um, they were Christian and they were like talking about the 33rd year, the symbolism of Jesus
Right.
being here for 33 years
Mhm.
and having that transformation into being more Christ-like. I mean, it was just
Mhm.
a beautiful charge.
Mhm.
It was a beautiful. They asked me to do this, and I'm like, what am I doing here? And then I decided to make a candle that would represent shedding and rebirth
Mm.
of newness for this person in their 33rd, solar return. That they would, have and hold the intention of being anew.
Ooh.
So that
Mm.
was just so soul stirring and healing. And that's another thing I must say is that the reason why I keep doing this work, it might be considered a little bit selfish. Let me explain why. And that's not in a
Mhm.
negative way.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that I do a Reiki healing on someone else, every time that I pour a candle, every time that I make a smudge spray, every time that I make a sale, it doesn't matter. Any type of interaction I have with this business, somehow I get my cup filled.
Mm.
And it is so beautiful. When I'm performing Reiki, I am receiving Reiki.
Mm.
When I'm a conduit and I'm serving as that channel, I'm getting a Reiki treatment too.
Oh.
So it's a little bit addictive because it's just like so much love. That's really
Uh-huh.
what it is. I'm
Wow.
receiving love and my cup is so full that I'm only giving from my overflow. So it doesn't
Mm.
even feel like work anymore.
Wow.
So that's
Mm.
why I can't stop because the charge, I was given the fuel to be able to complete the mission. I'm never tired because I'm always being filled up. I can't ask for anything else. I
That's
mean, I
why we
really can't.
supposed to do what we love, because then we doing what we love. We are being, we're putting out this love, and you're going to pass it
Yeah.
along, and no matter what you're doing. Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes. So the candles took off. Next thing I was doing, saw myself doing markets and I was out there like every single week. I was at the Hyde Park Handmade Bazaar. I was up north. I was in the West Loop. I was everywhere doing markets and letting people know about the products that I have. And I must say, my products aren't for everybody. And they're not for everybody right now. They might
Mm-hmm.
be for someone later, or they might
Right.
never be for you. And that's okay because my feminine divine offering to
Mm.
humanity, it is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm blessed with it. Everyone has their offering, whether divine feminine or masculine, everybody has their offering to give. And when they find it, they're going to be filled up by it. They're going to be fulfilled. They're going to love the work and they're going to keep it going. So I'm just so happy that, I'm 38
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just so blessed to have found what my offering is. A
Mm.
lot of people call it purpose, but I'm more so say it's my offering. This is my gift. It's something I'm
Yes.
supposed to give. Yes, I
Yes.
used it to heal myself first, but now I have to pay it forward. Now I have to
Oh.
give. So I'm loving the work. I have my website, and everything's available there. I don't know if you want me to kind of
Yes,
talk
please
about
tell me
how
your
they can
website.
reach me.
Yes, and then I'm gonna
The
put the
website,
link down at
yeah,
the bottom, you all, for.
thank you. So the website is moonstonechakra.com, moonstonechakra.com. And there's everything's there. The blog is there, the
Beautiful
store is
products, you
there.
guys. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Oh.
Everything is there. You can directly contact me there. You can ask me questions. You could book a private session with me there right now, especially for the month of June.
Okay.
My calendar is nice and kind of flexible because I'm going to be transitioning out of the day job a little bit and having more space and time in June and July.
Okay.
So if you want to book that private session with me in order to get an energy consultation, and that's where we
Yes.
just talk, hang out, chill like we're doing right now, and we kind of get to the core of some things that you might be dealing with
Mm-hmm.
and some action steps. And then if you want to get an actual Reiki healing from me, a distance Reiki healing as well, you can book that right on the website. Everything's available. Um, I also have hand curated crystals, and those are crystals that I go out and I source
Tell them how
directly.
you do
Some
it.
of them, yes, some of them I directly source straight from different countries, from Brazil, from the Dominican Republic. I work with the actual miners to get the best high quality crystals.
Mm.
So you'll see everything in the shop. You guys visit moonstonechakra.com. Make sure you follow me on Instagram.
Yes.
The Instagram is Moonstone Chandlery. Moonstone Chandlery. That's how you follow me on Instagram. And yeah, it's just if you wanna talk about energy work and any fellow energy healers,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking for tribe. I'm always looking for community. I'm always trying to, be, a part of something bigger and uplift other people in what they're doing. So yoga teachers, energy healers, anybody that's into holistic medicine,
Mm.
esoteric knowledge, let's talk.
Yes. And that's what we're supposed to be doing again. Is this is a way, though it might you might connect with Moonstone through products or service, but it's a way for us to connect, period. Because we're all a part of the one. And let's share some of this love with each other.
I know there's so much love. I mean, it's endless,
Yes.
right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
Oh,
for this.
yeah,
Like I
you're welcome.
said before, I'm usually not one to talk very much, but you make me feel so comfortable as you always have. I know I
Oh,
would talk to you in the office and we'd be like, "Oh goodness, I gotta get back to work," because I could just go on and on. Because some people just have that energy and they just make me feel okay. So thank you for being you.
no, thank you. So you all again, I'm gonna leave a link at the bottom how to connect with Moonstone to book a session. So hurry up and book a session before it gets filled up. Buy products. Her products are wonderful. Again, I am a consumer myself. Anything that you need as far as crystals, candles, sages, different kind of essential oils, which she puts into the candles, you can buy directly from her. And hey, you can just pick up the product when you go for a Reiki healing, or if you're not comfortable, because I know we are still in the middle of a
I
pandemic,
know.
she will ship it out. She will ship it out, no problem.
Yes, I will right
So
away and within
yes,
2 days.
thank you, Maureen.
Thank you so much. This has been
You welcome.
amazing.
Oh, you
Blessings.
also, if you love this video, please leave us a heart, a comment to me and Maureen. Make sure that you go onto her Instagram and follow her to see what she's doing and some of the insight and the different things that she's sharing as well. Always positive, always sharing of her love of energy healing. And make sure you subscribe so you can get more holistic health and wellness videos. God bless you all, beautiful beings. Next time. Bye bye.
Bye.